Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Parminder Kaur, and I am a Community Success Specialist for TaxCycle. Today's webinar will focus on one of the most powerful tools we have in TaxCycle, that is Client Manager. We will look into how you can set up and how you can use the searches that we provide using Client Manager. Now, the Client Manager in TaxCycle is a robust tool designed to provide immediate access to your client files and allow real-time monitoring with instant status updates for any changes made. Once your Client Manager is configured, you gain access to powerful customized reporting capabilities that enable you to prioritize client returns effectively, minimizing the risk of missing deadlines or incurring penalties. Additionally, the tool facilitates batch operations, offering significant time savings during the tax season. Today, what I want to cover is Client Manager setup. Where should I install the Client Manager in my office? How do I set it up? I'll be covering the basics of indexing of folders, indexing and folders, and also which allows you to quickly review and find returns that you want. Leading into searches, you are not constrained to just someone's SIN number or their first name or last name. You can search for the combination of data points from return to really find the return that you want. After that, we will be going through the different views and previews. And lastly, in today's webinar, we will cover some batch operations, like how you can carry forward returns in a batch or print in a batch. And I'm going to talk in detail about how to set up your Client Manager and what each value means and how you can apply it in your practice. So you can open up the options dialog here from the Client Manager by clicking on the options button on the left-hand side, or if you're like me, I have pinned the options button to my quick access toolbar at the top here. So I'm just going to click on that to open it. And once you are in there, if I come down to Client Manager section, so that is right in here. And this is the Client Manager overview. At this point, this computer is not set up as a Client Manager server, as you can see. So I'm going to use my machine as my Client Manager server. For the best setup, we recommend installing Client Manager setup on your file server, whether it's a centralized server for the larger office or dedicated machine for a small one. This lets it run in the background all the time, keeping an eye on your tax returns for any changes. It does not need someone logged in to work, and it updates the database when there are status changes. So if your files are on the network storage device, install the Client Manager on another office computer, it can still check and update the database for those files on the storage device. But for the simplicity of today, I am going to use my machine as my Client Manager server. At the moment, I am just going to click on this blue link to start making changes to my options profile. So now I am editing my webinar options profile here, and you will come and use the setup wizard a bit later, but I am just going to talk about what each section here actually means. So the status of the Client Manager, essentially, we know this computer is not set up as a Client Manager server. Once you have a Client Manager up and running, you can have all your machines on the network point to it. And that Client Manager server does all the heavy lifting for you and connect to a server on your network. So what we can do here is we can also, if we want, we can click on Discover Server on your network, and that will tell TaxCycle, please go find all the other machines in your office that actually have Client Manager server running. And this is particularly handy if perhaps you install 1, 2, or number of workstations into your network. You can go and have them discover where your Client Manager server is, and you can automatically connect. We won't be doing that today because I will be running that setup wizard, so we can get through each individual step and fine tune how we want Client Manager set up on this machine. And lastly, I want to mention about general options that we have down here. First of all, Client Manager is enabled. If I turn this option off, then Client Manager simply goes away and it will not bother you. You will not get the search bar on the tax cycle. If you use your own mechanism for managing your tax returns, it's perfectly fine. You can tell tax cycle that I'm not interested in using client management. Please turn off. So you can do that right from here. But for today we are, so I'll continue, and let's talk about few of these other options now. So we had some feedback on these general options. So by default, if you push F3 button in tax cycle, it will open the Client Manager. So early on, if you're preparing returns and you inadvertently hit F3 key on the keyboard instead of perhaps Student Override or Open Fast Find, which is there for you, you would open up Client Manager, and this would take several seconds away from you from what you are doing. So we can certainly alter that behavior by not allowing F3 to open Client Manager. By default, when you are in Client Manager, search bar, and when you are in Client Manager's search bar and you push enter, tax cycle runs a full search. So we have had a lot of feedback about that as well. Some people like that and some people don't. So you can turn that off from right here as well. And lastly, we have a batch operation options right here, whether or not you actually allow the Client Manager to do batch carry forward and batch transmission. So I'm going to so you would like to definitely look into that for the batch operations options. So I am going to scroll back here through my Client Manager options, and I'm going to start the setup wizard. So let's click on that. So what is setup wizard? So the setup wizard is basically a way for you to either connect to an existing server on your network, which we will cover later, or set up this machine as a server. So because I have identified this machine as being the server that I want to put Client Manager on, I am going to run this particular setup, and we will set this up as a server. So we will click on that. And as soon as I do that, so the first thing we would do is we can give our Client Manager server a name. So when we click discover, we want to find where it is on the network. This is the name that we will present it. So I am going to give it, let's just keep this one and just add, let's say, my server, my office server here. My office tax cycle server. This name can be anything you want. As I said, it's really just used to identify this particular Client Manager server on your network. So we would also have another option here. So if you work alone or travel a lot, you may want to create a Client Manager as a standalone private server. By default, when we set up a Client Manager as not private, it is available to all the machines on your network. So if we simply check this box here, and now the Client Manager server will not be available to anyone else on my work network and will only be available to me on this machine. But because I want Client Manager to be available to everyone here in the office, so I am just going to leave that option deselected, and I'm going to click on next from here. So the next part we want to talk about is that where do I keep my tax files? By default, the name of this computer, as you can see, the XLW, I have a particular network share here. I can go into, so this is the file folder that I want my Client Manager to monitor. These are the file folders, but if you want to add for any of the folder, you can simply click on add folder here, and from there you can just simply select the file. So here I have selected this. So here Windows File Explorer, as you can see my data, and I have my tax files in here according to the year. Let's look into that again. And if I go to my share folder here, and right now it is not showing. Let's see. However, the point is that once you have, because I want to show you the path and the files. So once you have your path specified, that what your network path is, that is something you can go and direct the tag cycle from there. Browse for the folder. This network is available to this network path is available to everybody in my office here if I have it added in there. So right now, if you will have files, for example, for the tax cycle files as per the year, so you can have it selected there and select that folder. And as soon as you do that, you will have it appear right in here. Now this network path now is available to everyone, and so that's important because my client manager, if I go back, is actually not standalone or private. It is available to everybody on my network. I want to make sure that my tax returns are also available to everyone on my network. So if my tax returns are not available to people or my preparers on my network and client manager indexes those tax returns, when someone runs a search, they go, okay, there is a tax return I want, but because the tax return is not actually on the network and not available to me on my workstation, so I cannot actually open it. And that can be a little frustrating. So if your client manager is not private, that means it is public. So I am doing that right now. We highly recommend that you really need to have a public location for your tax returns. And just to prove that, if I add another folder here from my OneDrive, so this one is from my OneDrive here, and if I select that, and as soon as I do that, what happened here is the wizard has detected that I'm telling the client manager server that I keep my tax returns in my OneDrive folder. Now this file on my OneDrive is available, only available to me on this machine. It is not actually available to any other of my preparers in the office. So therefore, it's a bit pointless to have client manager watch, monitor, and update the status of the return because it's not actually available to anyone else. So I should note, if I actually go back from here, and if I click or if I make this server as a private, then I go next, then my OneDrive folder is fine because we know that client manager will not be serving search results to anyone else on the network. And if I go back and just deselect because I want to make this as public, and again, the wizard has detected that this folder is not publicly available to anyone on my network. So you really don't want to have this as a part of the monitored file. So I am actually going to remove this. So any of the folder that you want to remove, you can just keep it unselected and click on remove folder. I just did it the otherwise. Let's do it again because I want to have the shared folder here. Okay, so the one that you want to remove is you want to select that and remove it. Perfect. And what I want to show you next is that on the right hand side, there is a column for a select folder that is subfolders. And what we're telling client manager the service is that in my tax cycle file folders, I actually also want client manager to look inside of the subfolders because that's where my actual returns are. So you want to keep it selected. That means I don't need to go and add separate folders for 2012, 13, 14, or like going down to 2024. I can just point it at the root of this folder and then tell the client manager this folder and any subfolder, if there is a tax return in there, I want to know about them, when they get changed, when they get saved. I will take the status of the tax return. I will update my database. So anyone else in the office, when they run a search, will get the most current view of this tax return. So let's go from here. Let's click next. And from here, I'm going to just start indexing tax return. After clicking the start, the client manager server is informed about the share folder containing the tax returns for the office, and now it is this triggers an indexing process where the server is ready. Server reads the return without making the changes, a read-only operations. And here we have it done. So our server is ready, and this computer is successfully set up as a tax cycle server. So we can simply finish, click on finished, and I am all done here. Now, one thing to note that if I am using an options profile, so here's something that's really neat about using options profile. As you can see from the top left-hand side, there is an options webinar options profile that I'm using here. So I have set up my server, and I have told this machine that this is where the server is located. And because that option is kept in an options profile, everybody else on my network who is using my options profile is now automatically connected to this client manager server as well. You do not need to go to everyone's desk and do it one by one. If they share the same options profile, as soon as you update the client manager server, every machine that uses that profile options profile is automatically updated. So it saves a bunch of administration and overhead there, so you don't have to go through each individual machine. Now we can see the status. Client manager status is now running, indicated by green status. After completing the setup wizard, I will quickly look into build an index. So if you click on there, you will be able to see that the monitored folder section shows the client manager server monitoring the tax files and folders set up earlier, and the client manager server running as NT30 systems operates as a background service. It doesn't need you to be logged in, allowing for a continuous operation. However, if tax returns are stored on NAS drive, and update to run as a specific user may be necessary. We can also from here click on OK to confirm the setup here. So we will click OK, and we'll click on Discover Server on your network. That shows the Office tax cycle server running, and it will also show you how many clients or how many individual tax returns now client manager is monitoring. So right from here you can see the number. And we can also click on to the open detailed configuration option. So if we click on that, you will be able to look into the system account. So if you want to stop a client server, or if you want to restart or remove it, and you will be able to find all those services right in here. And there are additional services that you can make changes. If you will click on stop, then you will be able to make the changes to all these services that you see down. You can make the changes to the name of the server, or setting it to a private if you want to by clicking on here, or configuring an overnight database index as well. So all of that you can do in here. More advanced feature you can do right in here. Generally left off include the use of unique client ID for identification for T1 return. This option is off by default, while it's typically on for organizations. The client ID uniquely identifies clients. It takes a combination of someone's social insurance number or business number. If it's our corporation or other entity, the first and last name, date of birth, and you can customize setting for more detailed engagement as well. Now, Client Manager is running on this machine and having indexed all the tax returns in the designated folder and ready for search. So we can simply click on OK here, and we can also hit apply and then OK. Now, what you want to look into is some of the powerful features that allow you to customize and generate reports exactly the way you need them. These tools give you the ability to create tailored reports efficiently. Let's dive right into that. So you can access the client manager from the left-hand side, from the blue bar at the top. And as soon as you do that, you will be able to see all the returns that you have in your database in the client manager. So you can get the number of those returns right at the top. And in the client manager, you can utilize this search box to find the specific client or files, whether you are searching by name, number, or even a specific form like T2125. And the search function helps you quickly locate the file you need, and then the search results are displayed in the table format and providing a clear view of matching files. Additionally, you will also find a preview of selected results. So let's say you select this one here. As soon as you select any of the file from there, or if you go down, let's say there is different client that you want to look into, so you will be able to find their preview of the selected files at the bottom screen and giving you a good glimpse into the file's content. And also you have the option to switch to client view from the right hand side at the top. So you will be able to look into more comprehensive preview of the file. In this view, you will not only see the main client, but also related files for their spouse and dependent if there are any. So you will be able to find all of those details right in here. Plus, you will have access to some of the status information about the return right from the client manager. All right. Before I show you how you can look into the quick searches and look into the report that you need to, I think it's a good time to do a second polling question. And for that, I will pass it on to Christian.
Thank you very much, Parminder. And if you'll notice, I've advanced the slides on the slides widget to the second of our 2 polling questions today. If you're looking for that, just give that slides widget a click or 2 at the bottom of your screen to bring it forward and to the front. Now then, for poll question number 2. What sidebar in TaxCycle contains built-in saved searches to help you search and filter the client manager results more quickly? Is it A, the recent sidebar, B, the quick searches sidebar, C, the prepare sidebar, or D, the review sidebar? Back to you, Parminder.
Thank you, Christian. Okay, now let's talk about quick searches. So once you are in the client manager, you can see the results, or you can see all the returns that you have in your database. To get to the quick searches, you would like to navigate to the right hand side, and you would like to hover your cursor over to the quick searches, and this is where you can access your saved searches and set up a custom filters. And here this is called quick searches sidebar, and here you can find all your saved searches and even select specific searches related to a particular module. So to run a saved search, you can simply click on its name. So for example, I have prepared a T1 not filed return. So if I click on this quick search here, and you will be able to find that I got the result on the left hand side, and you can also look into what I have saved from the previous search. So this is 2023 return T1, and all of those filters have been applied. Not only the filters that I have asked, but also the layout. To see the information that I want, you can always come in here and click on or select the layout that you want to. And here I have applied the customize, the one that I have created to see the information that I want to. However, you can always look into how the default layout looks like, and how I just want to show you the difference between the default layout and the one that you might want to look into. You can always do that by clicking on options and select what columns you want to look, and you can do that. And you can also export this list to Excel as well if you want to. You can have the full data exported to Excel. You can email that as well. Another thing I would mention, if you make any changes, what you want to do is you would like to come to the quick search and click on the name of the quick search and save it from this purple icon, just so whenever you're coming next time, you can simply click on the name. It will show you all the results, list of results that you want to look into. And simply, for example, if you want to look into any of the other, or you want to create your new search, you can simply select any of the quick searches name, and then you want to apply custom filters to that. So let's say we will dive into the batch operation right from here. So how you can do that. So let's say you want to look into T1 e-file transmitted returns, and you want to carry forward 2023 returns to 2024, and you have selected T1 returns here, and that is it. And you can save this as well. So you would like to simply click on that purple icon to save it. To start a batch operation, you can see here we have 23 returns that have been successfully filed for T1 return. And if we want, we can select all of those returns together. Or if you want, you can just simply select few of these multiple returns, the ones that you want. As soon as you selected those, you would like to click on this batch icon here, and it will take you to the batch operation. And from right here, you can select the batch operation if you want to carry forward in a batch all of multiple returns at once, or if you want to transmit multiple returns at once. There is a print option as well. In a print, there is a particular option that if you want to print a particular letters or forms, you can have that, or prints that you can have that specified in the print options that will be shown here if you select it. For example, we have the preseason. You can separate it by semicolon. It will print for you. And then print labels, return purpose, or calculate. All of that you can do in batch operation. So our today's demonstration, I am selecting carry forward, and then you can look into the standard options and then carry forward options. And once you are happy with these options and selections, you can simply click on start to perform a batch operation. So, and it will show you the progress right in here once the batch operation started and in progress, and the bar is showing you how much it is done. And on the right hand side, you can see that we got all the multiple returns individually in here with their link that has been carried forward. So we can simply click on these links to get to that return that has been carried forward. So it can save you a lot of time if you do it from batch. And if you are coming from other competitor software, you can also use the batch operation for carry forward as well. Specifically, for example, Profile, Cantax, and Tax Prep, all of that. You can use carry forward batch operation and save a time. So it really streamlines your workflow, allowing you to process multiple tasks efficiently and accurately. And this is all what I wanted to show you today. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and have a wonderful rest of the day.